Welcome everyone. Our today's topic is evidences of evolution. And student, what is evolution? We have studied this in part 2 video of this lesson. So this topic is from lesson heredity and evolution. This is part 3 video of this lesson. So the part 1 and part 2 link you will get in the description box. So let's start today's topic, evidences of evolution. Okay, now let us first revise about evolution. So what is evolution? Evolution is a gradual or slow process or changes occurring in living organism over a long duration. So this evolution takes place thousands, millions of years to change different organisms. Okay, and there are different theories about the origin and evolution of life have been proposed till today, of which theory of gradual development of living organism is widely accepted. Alright, now let us understand about the different evidences of evolution. That means how the change takes place in an organisms over a long period of a time. So what are the proof of this evolution we are going to study? So the collective thinking upon all the measures, the theories implies that evolution is everlasting process of changes, and however this needs proof. So today we shall study about proofs, that is evidences of evolution. Okay, now here different evidences are there of evolution. So first we are going to study about the morphological evidences, next is anatomical evidences, and vestigial organs, paleontological evidences, and connecting links, and last is embryological evidences. So let's study one by one. Okay, so first is about so student, observe the images I have put on the screen and note the similarities between given animals images and plant images. Do you observe some similarities? So this is a morphological evidences. Okay, and morphological means their structural, their outer appearance, evidences among their outer appearance. Okay, physical appearance. So various similarities are seen, can be seen in the animals and plants which I have mentioned on the screen. So various similarities like structure of their mouth, position of eyes, structure of nostrils and ear pinnae, and thickly distributed hairs on the body are seen in animals. Okay, so these are the various similarities among different classes of the animals. And whereas similarities in characters like leaf shape, and that is in plants we can observe the similarities in characters like leaf shape and leaf venation and leaf petiole. Now leaf venation, what is mean by leaf venation? So this leaf venation is an arrangement of a veins. Okay, you can observe here the two types of leaf venation, parallel venation and reticulate venation. That means arrangement of a vein on a leaf. Okay, so in parallel venation you can observe that veins are arranged parallel to each other. Okay, and reticulate venation, the veins are arranged in branches along the midrib. Okay, and leaf petiole, it is a part which joins a stem. Okay, it is a stalk which joins the stem to the leaf, and occur in case of a plants, and this indicates that there are some similarities in those groups, and hence it proves that their origin must be same and must have common ancestor. That means common ancestor, that means their older organism from which this evolution has been started. Okay, that must be similar or same in both plants and animals. Their ancestor they belongs to the common ancestor. So this is a major proof of the evolution. Alright, now next proof on evidence of evolution is anatomical evidences. Now anatomical means their internal structure. Okay, proof about their internal structure, body structure. Okay, so student, if you carefully observe the pictures, there doesn't seem any superficial similarity between human hand, cat's foreleg, flipper of whale and patagium of bat. Okay, so there are similarities between their structure of the jaw, bones and their joints, little similarities there. Okay, and similarly use of each of those structure is different in respective animals. That means use of the bones and their particular part of the body is different. Okay, that means human hand is performing different function, foreleg of ox performing different function, and patagium and flipper, they are each organism performing different function respectively. And however there is similarity in structure of bones and bony joints in organs of each of those animals. So there is the bony joints and bones are similar, okay, but their function will be different, and this similarity indicates that those animals may have common ancestor. Okay, now third proof is vestigial organ. Now what are the vestigial organs? So student, the degenerated or underdeveloped useless organs of organisms are called as a vestigial organ. That means the organs which are not useful in organism, they have been underdeveloped or they will be degenerated. So this is called as a vestigial organs, and the vestigial organs are the organs which are non-functional in some organism but may have essential functions in other organism. That means we can take like human being, okay, there are some organs are there in human being which are they are non-functional, but in another organism like in ruminants or other animals, these organs, similar organs are functional. Okay, so these are the vestigial organ which are non-functional in one organism but they may be functional, fully functional in another organism. And in living organisms, sudden development of new tissues or organs for living in a changing environment is not possible, and instead existing organs only undergo gradual changes. That means the organs which are present already, these organs go under gradual changes, like evolution of the human being. We have seen the size of the brain and their external appearance and external appearance of the body has been undergo gradual changes, and that is why the evolution of human beings takes place, and different organisms like plants, animals have been taken place slowly. And mostly a specific structure in the body is useful under certain situation, and however same structure under different situation may become useless or even harmful, and such structure begins to degenerate. It means the structure which is not useful or that is harmful to one organism, it start degenerate under such a situation as per the principle of natural selection. That means the organs or the organism which is not useful or which is harmful to the environment or their body, it will start disappearing or degenerated. Why? Because according to the principle of natural selection, the organism or the organism which can be survive according to their surrounding situation, they only be survive. Okay, they only be selected by the nature, and rest all will be perish. Okay, and such organs it takes thousands of years for a structure to disappear. It will not the evolution not takes place within a short span of a time. Okay, it requires thousands of years to perform the evolution, and such organs are seen in different phases of disappearance in different animals, and such organs though non-functional in certain organism but it may be functional in other organism, that is it is not vestigial in another organisms. Alright, now let's understand some example of the vestigial organ. Now first example is the appendix, which is useful to human, useless to human, is useful and fully functional organ in ruminants. So here you can observe this is a small intestine and this is a large intestine. Now where it will be appendix. So appendix, this is the end part of the large intestine. Okay, this is the appendix, and this appendix is useless to human but it is useful for the ruminants. Okay, that means cattle like cow, sheep, goats, etc. So this will be, so these are the vestigial organ which is functional, which is useful for one organism but it will be fully functional in another organisms. And next example is similarly muscles of ear pinna, which are useless to human, are useful in monkeys for movement of their ear pinna. Okay, so this is another example of vestigial organ. And next is various vestigial organs like tailbone, coccyx. So this is a tailbone. Okay, it is also called as a coccyx, which is the end part of the backbone. And wisdom teeth. Now what are the wisdom teeth? These are the last teeth of our last part of our teeth. This is called as a wisdom teeth, and this is also not useful for the human. Why? Because we are not using the end teeth. Okay, we are just using our front teeth for the chewing purpose and for the biting purpose and all. and body hairs are present in body of human being. So these all are the different examples are vestigial organ which is functional for one organism but it will be useless to another organisms. Alright, now next fourth evidence is paleontological evidences. So student, first of all, paleontology is the study about all the fossils. Okay, now fossils which are there in the are buried in the earth. These are the some fossils which I have shown in on the screen. Okay, so student, a question may arise in your mind that which organism existed millions of years ago. Okay, like dinosaurs, but we are curious about the dinosaur and all the species which are exist on the earth about millions of years ago. Okay, and how can we tell this? So now this secret has been hidden in the earth and large number of organisms get buried due to disasters, natural disaster like flood, earthquake, volcano, etc. And remnants or remaining parts or impression of such organism remain preserved underground, and this is called as a fossil. So what are the fossils? The remnants and impression of the organism which are present or exist on the earth about millions years ago. This is called as a fossils, and a study of the fossils or remnants is called as a paleontology. Now let's understand how the paleontology helps to find out the age or to find out the period of the fossils of the older organisms. Okay, now here I have put one picture on the screen in which you can observe the reaction type. Okay, so there are different isotopes are shown on the image, that is carbon 12, C13 and C14. So these are the different isotopes. Now what are the isotopes? The atom having element having same atomic number but different mass number. Okay, atomic number, that means 666, and mass number 12, 13 and 14. Okay, so what happened? Carbon and nitrogen, they will react to each other, and carbon will absorb one neutron from the nitrogen and it will convert it into its isotope, that is C13 and C14, after absorbing the neutron from nitrogen. Okay, and what happened to this isotope? The plants, when the plants and animal, when they are alive, they will absorb the carbon. Okay, so plant take carbon dioxide, and animals and human beings we are depending on the plant. So animals eating the plant, they also consuming the carbon. Okay, and in living organism have the same ratio of C12 to C14 as it found in the atmosphere. So it is there in the atmosphere. So when we are alive, we are absorbing, plants and animals, human beings are absorbing the C12 and C14. Okay, now carbon consumption of animals and plants stops after death. That means when we are alive, we absorb the carbon, but after death of the animal, the carbon consumption of animals and plants stop after death, and since then only the decaying process of carbon 14 occurs continuously. That means after the death of the organism, carbon 14 start decay. Okay, and in case of the dead bodies of plants and animals, instead of remaining constant, the ratio between C14 and C12 changes continuously, as C12 is non-radioactive. So as C14 is start decaying after the death of the animal, what happened to the ratio of C14 to C12 to C14? It start decreasing. Okay, it start decreasing, and the time passed since the death of a plant or animal can be calculated by measuring the radioactivity of C14 and the ratio of C14 to C12 present in their body, and this is called as a carbon dating method. And it is this carbon dating method is and it is used in paleontology and anthropology for determining the age of a human fossils and manuscript. Now paleontology, this is a study of fossils, and anthropology is a study of human culture. That means what are the human culture like in manuscript, and all about the civilization of the older organisms. Okay, so this carbon dating helps in finding the age of older organisms also. And once the age of a fossil been determined by such technique, it becomes easy to deduce the information about other erstwhile organisms also. That means which are there in below, in most below of the earth. They can be easily find out the age of that organism, and all about the information about that particular organism we can find out easily. Okay, now here the structure of ground level and fossils are there. So it seems that vertebrates have been slowly originated from the invertebrates. So here you can observe the first era is the Paleozoic era, and in the Paleozoic era we have all the invertebrates. Okay, then after Paleozoic era we have Mesozoic era, in which only reptiles are there like snakes, dinosaur. Okay, and after Mesozoic it is Cenozoic era, in which the apes, mammals, that is vertebrate animals are starting. Are there in Cenozoic era. Okay, but in Paleozoic era all invertebrates animals are there. So it can be proved that vertebrates have been slowly originated from the invertebrates. Okay, now here one scientist Willard Libby. So carbon dating method is based upon the radioactive decay of naturally occurring C14, and it is developed by the scientist Willard Libby. And the age of the material determined this method are published in the journal Radiocarbon. And Willard Libby has been awarded also with Nobel Prize in 1960 for this invention of carbon dating method. Okay, now fifth evidence is connecting links. So what are the connecting links? I have put some 3 organisms on the screen. So students, some plants and animals. This is the duckbill platypus and lungfish, and the third one is peripatus. Okay, so some plants and animals show some morphological means external, their external structure, body structure. Okay, their morphological characters by which they can be related to 2 different groups. That means one organism can show the characters of 2 different groups. So this is called as a connecting links. Okay, and here we have examples like in peripatus, peripatus characters like segmented body. So you can observe the segments like earthworm. Okay, segmented body, a thin cuticle, that means outer thin layer of the body, and the parapodia like organs are present. Parapodia, that means you can observe the short small projecting out below the body of the peripatus. Okay, so this indicates that the parapodia, and similarly these animals show the tracheal respiration and open circulatory system similar to arthropods. Now arthropods have the tracheal respiration and open circulatory system for the circulation of their blood. Okay, and arthropods like in the circulation of their fluids, they have the open circulatory system. Now arthropods may includes insects like butterfly, crabs, etc. Okay, so these peripatus show the similar characters like characters like of arthropods and insects. Okay, that means that this indicates that peripatus is connecting link between the annelida like earthworm and arthropoda, 2 groups. So that means it is a connecting link between the arthropoda and annelida, 2 different groups. Okay, now next example of connecting link is of lungfish. This is a duckbill platypus, and next is the lungfish. Okay, so similarly the duckbill platypus lays eggs like reptiles but show relationship with the mammals too due to the presence of mammary glands and hair. So peripatus have the mammary glands and hairs on the skin, which shows the similar characters like mammals, and it shows also like reptiles which lays the eggs. Now mammary glands, these are the glands which by which they can feed their own children. Okay, and hairs on the skins like we have in case of a mammal. So this is a connecting link, example of a connecting link. And next is the lungfish, and lungfish performs respiration with the lungs irrespective of being fish. That means fishes in fishes for the respiration they have gills, but instead of a gills lungfish have the lungs for the respiration. Okay, and this examples indicates that mammals are evolved from reptiles and amphibians from fishes. Okay, so next 6 evidences, embryological evidences. So student, I have put embryos during different stages. So here there are different embryos of different organisms I have shown, that is fish, salamander, tortoise, chicken, pig, cow, rabbit and human being. Okay, so if you will observe that all the organisms shows the similarities, all embryos show extreme similarities during their initial stages. Okay, so in first stages all the embryos of different organisms shows a similar structure. Okay, and those similarities decreases gradually. It means first all the same, and in second and third stages their similarities start decreasing. That means they show different characters, like a chicken embryo is looking different, human embryo is looking different, pig embryo is looking different. Okay, and similarity in their initial stages indicates the common origin of all these animals. So student, these all are the 6 evidences of evolution. I hope you all have understood this topic very nicely, and next part of this lesson we will study in our next video. Thank you.